Hi, everybody. I want to show you a little example here of how my religious system works. Uh, and my this system is an example of something which I call. I'll type it in here for you. I call this practice an example of sorism. Um, and yeah, sorism isn't a command, but I can just type like that just to sort of show you. It's a quick way to use the screen here. So it's based on something which I call the sorents, which is simply a word I made up. I think it's a neat word, and so I made it up. It's a whole new word, and it describes this what you're looking at is an example of right now. Okay, so now this is the foundation of my godless, atheistic, religious subsystem. And I know it takes a little while for it all to process, but so I will now demonstrate how this works. Okay, so let's say that I had my and by the way, I have a church which is practices this religion. So I have a religion and a church. The church is called Cult of the Dolphin. You'll notice I also type things in a sort of a strange way, um, and so all of these idiosyncrasies come together with a couple others to form a system which appears at first to be a joke, but is actually, I would argue, an immutable record, and that's free for anybody to see, is relatively simple to understand, and is distributed throughout the world. And that's the perfect foundation for my secular religious system. And wish that didn't happen. Okay. Now, so I was just at the courthouse the other day with um, the courthouse, and I happened to have a T-shirt on that would identify me with the cult of the dolphin. So that sort of T-shirt is simply a tie dye with with no insignia on it. Because why would you want to ruin something like that? Or you know, it needs no help, right? So I happened to be wearing a fresh tie dye that had um, no messages on it. And so somebody said, "Oh, are you from the Cult of the Dolphin?" And I said, "Why, yes." And they said, "Well, I would like to join." Now, we both had somewhere to be quickly, but we managed to create, as you see here on the left, these two documents, which I've scanned in. This guy graciously lent me his copy, which is going to be returned to him, just so that I can show you. Okay, so this is a the same thing written twice on these. It's actually on a piece of packing, right? We wrote it twice, one, two, broke it in half. Okay, and these are exactly identical. So now, uh, and you can type this into the shell just like I've been typing these things. See, so instead of typing D, you can hold down the Opt key on my machine, which is a Macintosh, and you get this D, right? That's what this is supposed to be, this funny looking D. So then you say, and you're going to do that funny looking D again. You're going to type this, and he said it was interesting. his name was David Alderman, but he also wanted to join the cult and be an alderman in the cult. And so that's why we have this fermented Wakian sort of. This is a pun, right? This is James Joyce at his worst, let's say. So all Durman. What does that mean? Well, phonetically it's alderman, right? But there's a lot of puns, and there's a lot of ambiguity put into there. Okay, now then I put this and this. Now I don't know if I need this symbol. That might mess the whole thing up, but I don't think so. Okay, so now that is saved, and so it is a function. You could call this just like that is a function that tells you the directory you're in, right? This is a function that tells you how the system is performing. Well, it would if it was there, but and so what I can do now is I can bring back the function, and it will be formatted for me, which is really important that we get to a standard format, right? So, okay, so now we've gone from something written on a packing slip. Oh, see, it just took that off. We took it. We've got it. It's now formatted. Similar to the way that JSON is formatted. Let's say, okay. But I think that it's constrained even more than JSON. There's only one way this is all going to show up, no matter how you type it in. And then the next step is to simply, and that brings back the last command, and we're going to pipe it. Pipe it sends it into a new command. So that then goes into this new command, sum. Okay, so now we have this number, 48797. Okay, so if either of us, so then that number goes out to the Doge chain here. Okay, whoops. Oh, we don't want to start Dogecoin core. That would be a mistake. So let's come here. Okay, so here is on this immutable record, the Doge chain, which is a blockchain, and that thousands of people have a copy of this entire record system that this is on. Thousands of people have a copy on their PCs at their house if they run the Dogecoin core or something similar, right? They would be participating in the project at that level. So as you can see, you have these messages here, and again, let's see what the new message is. The new message would be 48797. Okay, so let's try this out. 4879. Let's see, 48797. See how easy this is? This is so easy. 48797. Okay, and bear in mind that this is what I would be doing as this is the record keeping that I take as the founder of the cult. Okay, so if you just want to be like Mr. Alderman, somewhat involved, all you've got to do is keep track of this piece of paper or this number or both, right? That's it. So it says send money. Now I have to tell you that one Dogecoin is a third of a penny, okay? And so we're sending just over a third of a penny. So that's not much. That's not much. In fact, it's such a small amount of money that I can give you plenty of Dogecoin to work with. You don't have to go through the permutations of getting it yourself in order to participate, as you see, because let's see. Let's see if this works. I may have to send it another way. I haven't used this one before. Use form. It doesn't seem to like it. However, I can send it another way, and you'll see it out there. And so if I come back to here, okay, I can take my phone but you can't see my phone. I have an application on my phone called Jack's Liberty. I don't know why that didn't work. I was trying from the web, so I experiment different ways. So now I've got Jack's Liberty opened up on my phone, and oh gosh, I have $1.42 worth of Dogecoin on my phone, which is plenty to send this message. I just read this QR code right there. Okay, send is the amount, and then whatever that amount is, 48797 487. See what I'm doing here? I'm so this is a very short message that's unique. That's a pun. It's got all these layers, right? And it is bound into a bash function, which I typed here. Bash is simply uh, it's part of Unix and it's part of this Mac. You can get it on Windows. So I type it in as a bash function and then have it spit that bash function back out at me and then send it to this other command that, by today's standards, crudely turns it into a checksum or a hash. So what I'm saying is that somebody else could make a claim to be 48797, but the simplest explanation, especially if it's found in something like this Doge chain, is okay. Finally sent from my phone. So the simplest explanation, if you look at this Doge chain, is that this is me. That's a restaurant. That's how much I paid at the restaurant. That's me. That's a 76051. That's my zip code. And so now we have. And by the way, David Alderman is not a real person. I don't know. I just made that whole story up, but and scribbled some stuff on a packing script that I got out of the trash can. So that new number, though, it will appear here eventually. We can check on it. We can try to see it in progress. And usually, what happens is, by the time you find it, you come back here. Let's see. So okay, so the last block was less than 1 minute ago. 26. So there's a bunch of transactions here that happened within the last few minutes, and they're still sort of in progress, but you can see them here, right? And they're just this is these are addresses of people that are arguably you would say spendable. Well, the cult of the Dolphin is an unspendable address, and if you look in the chain, you will see it. It'll pop out really obviously here that there's a transaction there. So that's how people can know about this. Anyway, so usually you look at it for a while, and by the time you come back, it's yeah. Yeah, see, there it is, 48797. There you go, there you go. So David Alderman has now, we together have practiced the cult of the Dolphin religious thingamabob. There you go. I hope that explains it. And that seems trivial. It seems like, as Peter Thiel would say, it seems like kayfabe, but it's not. This is a serious foundation for. I would argue that this is legally binding. Were this to be a real person that has this real piece of paper, and we show the paper, if they sent the message instead of me, there's a way for us to understand that within ourselves, share that with a third party, which may be a government entity, and transfer funds to ourselves, to each other, because you see now, if you look at this transaction here, that went to Cult of the Dolphin. Well, it came from me, right? So I am among many other addresses. This is apparently me, right? So if you can now send the Dogecoin to me. Oh, okay. So yeah, so this is one you see. Um, this is one that you can see. Sometimes this is hidden, right? But you can see how many Dogecoin that I have left in my phone. I guess this is my phone, right? Remember I said that I tried to send it from here and it didn't work, so I sent it from my phone. That's my phone. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it. I know that it's a lot. It's confusing, but there you go. That this is this. If you can figure this out, then you understand the cult of the dolphin, and you understand uh, the potential for what's coming to use. Something this cost a penny to do. Okay, with no sort of subscription at all, except for some interest in the Doge chain, right? So there's much better solutions that are coming down the road, but this is an example. So thank you for listening.